I really love a good coaster, and I think these ones are super unique. Hello everyone, it's Nina and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for joining me for this cozy fall vlog. This vlog in particular, I'm really focusing on upping the ambiance, romanticizing life, and doing a bunch of fun fall crafts. I've had quite a few on my to-do list for this fall season, so I'm hoping we can accomplish as many as possible in this vlog. Starting off with our itinerary for today, I actually have a pretty exciting announcement. We are going to be cleaning the entire apartment because later on this afternoon, we are actually going to get a new foster cat. I am so incredibly excited. I'm actually quite tired because I didn't really sleep well last night because I kept on thinking about how excited I was that we were going to be getting a new cat. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you might know that I used to have an elderly Siamese cat named George who ended up passing away back in April. And since then, we have been without a cat. And honestly, I don't think we are mentally in the place to fully commit to adopting a cat. But actually, even before we had George, we fostered cats through a shelter, and we actually went through fostering 10 different cats before we ended up adopting George. So I think going back to doing that again, being able to take care of a cat for a couple weeks until we end up helping adopt them out to their forever home is a good kind of happy medium. It's just really hard, especially because George was such a perfect cat in every way. It's honestly going to be pretty hard to find a cat that's as good as him, but we really do miss having a cat in our home. Back in the end of June, early July, I did watch my best friend from high school's 2 cats for 2 weeks while he was on a trip, and that was really nice. His cats are incredibly cute and pretty well behaved, and I think that was a good test for having a cat in our home again. So I'm really excited to see what cats are at the shelter that we can pick out and take home and take care of. So in preparation for that, we're deep cleaning the entire apartment. Actually, last weekend we did go ahead and go to Petco and picked up everything we need, since a lot of the stuff we did get rid of after George passed away. In terms of things that obviously kind of got gross and were old, like his old litter box and his old food bowls, plus pretty much all of the food that we had left over from him, we gave to either my parents or to my other friends that have cats. So we reset and got a whole bunch of new stuff for our foster cat. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing in this video. So talking about the actual fall related activities I want to do, I did start working on a project I mentioned in my aesthetic autumn video, which is that I really want to sew a Halloween shaped pillow, specifically a little ghost pillow, because I had seen a couple of photos on Pinterest and I think it's going to be relatively easy to do. Plus also the fact that I just already have all the materials I would need to make this particular pillow. So that's something I really want to work on. I haven't really done any fall baking. A baking project that I think will actually be pretty easy to do is something I saw on Pinterest, which is basically to use the candy corn adjacent little pumpkins and put them on top of brownies to make it look like they're in a pumpkin patch. I think this is incredibly cute and also probably very easy to do, since you can kind of use store-bought mixes for brownies and icing, as opposed to having to make everything from scratch. So this will probably be a pretty easy baking project for us to work on. The other project I really want to work on is I've been meaning to refill some of the empty candle holders that I finished off last year. Over the last couple years, whenever Target has released their glass pumpkin candles, I've gotten them, and then once I've completely burned them through, I've refilled them with a candle making set that I think my wife got me as a Christmas gift maybe 2 years ago. And I have some empty ones I saved from last year, and honestly the year before as well, that I now have to refill. I think this is a really easy craft to do because there is a lot of downtime as you're waiting for the wax to fully heat up and then melt. And then even more downtime while it gets back to the ideal temperature before you pour it into the containers. I might end up doing this later today or sometime tomorrow afternoon, and probably while I'm doing that I'll also listen to an audiobook or a podcast to pass the time while I'm waiting for the wax to heat up. And the last thing I want to do in this video is we're going to be definitely finding some type of cute spooky movie to watch. Actually, last weekend me and my wife watched Twitches, which is my first time watching it, and it's just so fun and campy. And honestly, I think we might end up watching the second one sometime this season. I'll have to check and see if I can get the DVD of the second one from our library. So that's a little look at everything we're planning on doing for this video. So I think let's go ahead and get started on our first task of the day. Okay, really quickly, I wanted to give you an update on some of the fall decor shopping I've been doing lately. I think in one of my last vlogs, I mentioned I had been meaning to go to TJ Maxx, and I actually have gone twice now. The first time, I actually didn't buy anything. I kind of wanted to wait and see what stuff actually stayed in my brain as things that I could see myself using, since it can be kind of overwhelming being in there. And yeah, I ended up going back 2 weeks later, and luckily the stuff I did want to get ended up still being there. So let me go ahead and give a quick haul of some of the stuff I got. The first thing I got was this set of little Halloween coasters that are this textured metal and are obviously shaped like little ghosts. I think these are so cute. I really love a good coaster, and I think these ones are super unique and also very much fit the overall aesthetic that I have for my Halloween decor. A little spooky, a little refined, overall giving that I Spy Spooky Mansion energy. I think this came in a set of 5 or 6. I just grabbed one of them as an example. And the other thing I got from TJ Maxx was this jack-o'-lantern shaped pillow. This is super, super cute. I've often gone back and forth on what ideal pumpkin pillow I would have. I think the kind of more 3D shaped pumpkin ones are very cute, but I don't really feel like they're actually that practical to use as a pillow. And I actually like the option of being able to lay on the pillows that I use as throw pillows on my bed or my couch. And since this one is a lot more flat, it is something you can actually feasibly lay on instead of having a really awkwardly shaped round pillow. I had seen this 2 weeks ago and was thinking it might end up selling out, but luckily it was still there. I'm pretty sure this might have been the last one at my TJ Maxx. And yes, he's very, very cute. Right now he's on the couch, but I honestly could see him being in the center of our bed as well. Very, very glad I ended up getting this guy. So that's a look at my TJ Maxx haul. I honestly don't think I'm going to go Halloween shopping for anything else. As I've mentioned before, I really try to be very intentional with my decor that I bring into my home because I don't have a lot of space in our 1-bedroom apartment. So I think that's going to be it for the stuff I pick up this year. Okay, I haven't updated you all day, but I've had a very good productive and crafty day. I did 2 of the main crafts I really wanted to do for this video. I made my candles as well as my ghost pillow. My candles are currently setting in the other room, but let me show you how the ghost turned out. Look at how cute he is. I love how he looks sitting on the bed. Originally I had the pumpkin center and then he was off to the side, but I moved everything over because I just did laundry and I was folding up all of my socks and towels. But he is so cute. I think he's going to probably end up living in the corner of my couch next to the other pumpkin pillow that I have. But for right now, he's hanging out with the jack-o'-lantern pillow that I got. I don't know if I'm going to get much more done today. Right now, my wife is making dinner, then we're probably going to watch a spooky movie. I mentioned that last week we watched Twitches for our Sunday night, end of the weekend movie, we're probably going to watch Twitches 2, which I was able to pick up at the library yesterday. I feel like I have had a surprisingly productive weekend. Yesterday when we got our foster, I kind of was in waiting mode for the majority of the day. So I did film a little bit in the morning, but then closer to the time when we were going to leave, I kind of was just like waiting around until my mom could pick us up to take us to pick up our new foster cat. And then after we got home, it was honestly kind of emotional and a little overwhelming having a cat again. But I think we've really settled into a good rhythm now. And I'm super excited to have her in our house. I don't know how long we're going to have her as our foster, since we're kind of responsible until we can find someone to permanently adopt her. But for the time being, I'm perfectly happy having her around. She's incredibly, incredibly cute. There definitely are a couple more things I need to pick up from Petco. I built that really, really cute cat scratching house that I got from Aldi, but she's actually like too fat for it. But luckily, I'm pretty sure I can give it to my friend Will, since he said his cats really like that style of like scratching board. So I'm probably gonna end up going to Petco sometime tomorrow to pick her up a like jute style standing scratching post instead. Okay, I got two things of samosas. I got the vegetable, and they also had, oh, I got them also a chicken tikka one. They also had pumpkin ones, but I did not get one. I don't remember, honestly, if we've gotten it in the past, so we got the classics. Yes.
Oh, hell yeah, thank you.
I got your alio e olio seasoning. Shows of the camera. Yes, I got carrots for the salad that we will make. Lovely. I got a baguette for, yep. They did have the tahini. I always forget that Trader Joe's has tahini, but now we have that so we can use it for your recipe.
Yeah.
And then the one impulse I got was I got this pumpkin butter, which I thought would be good considering like with the muffins. I was thinking like, you know how I had my hyperfixation meal of jam on sourdough with goat cheese. So I was like, oh, this might be a good alternative for the fall season. Instead of having jam, I can use the pumpkin butter. Your regular, I got all my wife's favorite types of yogurt, and then I also got 2 of the pumpkin ones to try, which I think we might have had last year, but I can't really remember. So I'm back home for my first errand. I just went to Trader Joe's and I got some stuff that we needed for the rest of the meals we want to make this week. I think right now I'm probably going to take a little break, have some lunch, and then I'll go out to do the second set of errands that I have to do today. And then probably when we come back, I will give a little wrap up of everything that we did in this vlog. Okay, so it's actually been a couple days. I thought I would do a quick wrap up of all of the crafts I did in this video as a way to like end off the vlog. Starting off, I wanted to show the little ghosty pillow that I made. He is so cute. For the last week or so, he's been sitting on our couch and he's actually quite cozy and comfortable to like lean against. When I showed my wife the like finished product, she was like, dang, I could see that being sold in a store. Although, can you tell which eye I did first? Because I feel like there's a very clear good eye and a very clear wonky eye. I feel like with a lot of my old cosplay projects, I did do a lot of satin stitching, but I'm a little bit out of practice. So one eye definitely is a lot more messy than the other one. But overall, this craft was incredibly easy, and I still have quite a bit of Sherpa left over. Maybe in the future I'll make a second one, kind of facing the other direction so they can kind of be a cute little matching set, or make a smaller one. But I'm really happy that I was able to do this craft. The other thing I did later on in the same day actually is I made some candles. I feel like every single time I forget how easy it is to actually make candles. It just is a little time consuming because obviously you have to watch the stove the whole time, and then it feels like it takes forever for the wax to cool enough to the ideal temperature to then pour it into the containers, because you really can't rush that step. If you pour the wax in when it's too high of a temperature, you risk it like melting the adhesive that's on the bottom of the wick, and there's kind of like no saving the candle. After that happens, you have to like pour it out and start again. So I ended up making 2 candles, and they are the same scent. I refilled one of my bigger 10-ounce pumpkin containers that I got from Target, as well as the smaller 5-ounce one that I think was from the Target Dollar Spot either last year or the year before. The scent I am going to be using I got from a place called Candle Science. The one I used for these 2 candles was called Alpine Balsam, and I found out through checking their website, I do think it's actually discontinued now. This one is like a very cold, wintry, woodsy scent. Very much like clean, fresh mountain air, walking through a snowy forest type of vibe. I do have a couple other scents that I got from Candle Science that I will use in future candles that I end up refilling. Probably in like a month or 2, I will refill some other candle holders that I have, so that I will be stocked up for the rest of the fall and winter season. So these were 2 of the little cozy crafts I did this last weekend. And then this last Tuesday, while my wife was out, as a little treat, I decided I was going to make brownies for her. So then I ended up doing the pumpkin patch brownies, as you guys saw. They actually turned out so good. I mean, obviously already they're good because they're just like box brownies, and the kind of like more fancy version of box brownies that you can get from Aldi already are really delicious. But I feel like adding the icing as well as the little pumpkins on top, I feel like overall it's just like kept them really moist, and the icing like just goes really well. Honestly, brownies with icing over chocolate cake with icing any day. And I also just feel like it turned out so cute, adding the like green icing on top with the little candy corn pumpkins. That's been a fun little dessert we've been having the last couple days. We did also last weekend end up watching Twitches 2. It definitely was worse than the first one. I also feel like it didn't really have the same like spooky Halloween vibes that are in the first one. Definitely much more of a like standard cheesy kids fantasy movie. I do definitely think the first one is a great nostalgic Halloween watch, but the second one just like didn't really hit the same way, or in the way I really hoped it would. And for the last update in this video, I want to talk about Missy. I feel like she's been doing actually really good. It's actually crazy that every single day I feel like she comes out of her shell more and more and has been acting just so funny. Like 2 days ago, she was having like crazy hour and running around and playing with her mouse toy, which was so cute. It was the first time that she's done that. Tomorrow will mark a full week of us having her, and I'm honestly so happy with the progress she made in just the 5 or 6 days that she's been in our home. You can't see her, but she's actually sitting like right down over here. Of course, not actually on her bed. She'd rather sit on the ground and then use her bed as like a pillow when she wants to sleep. But anyway, I'm going to now end the vlog here. Thank you guys, as always, so much for watching and spending some time with me today. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider liking, commenting, or subscribing if you aren't already. In particular, if you want to see more of the fall vlogs I've been doing this last season. I think I'm going to make a playlist, which I will link down below, if you'd like to watch any other videos that recently have come out, or to stay on top of any new videos that I'm going to be posting soon. But that is going to be it for me today. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!